So we started coming out here to the Audubon Center, which is right on Central and the Rio Salado, and we started pulling stinknet weed at the beginning of the summer of 2023. And first it was just a handful of us, and then the group grew. And I think it's really important to understand which plants are natural to the Sonoran Desert and which ones are invasive, because those invasive plants will take over our natural landscape, and we don't want that to happen. And so it seems futile, I think, to a lot of people because it's everywhere now. But I think that we can still do our part. Everyone can pick a few weeds and get rid of them, pull them up by the roots, put them in a bag, tie it up, and throw it away. My vision for this site is a place where the community can come and relax right next to the Rio Salado and really have that connection to land and place, because so many people don't even know where our water comes from. And you hear the saying, water is life everywhere. Hopi has been saying that for a long time. We have to appreciate and take care of our water sources because without water, there is no life. So I think it's important to have a place, near the light rail stop where people can come and relax and maybe take a little break before they go and catch their light rail ride to wherever they're going. And this is an area where we hope to have places to sit, some shade, and also maybe some water stations where you can refill your water bottle, because that's important too. So we're excited to be here at the ground, starting from the ground level, because you look around and it's a construction site. And in 2 years, what will the site look like? We can see the Estrella Mountains right now, and you can see, again, all the construction that we have here. But what is that vision? And I think it's really important for community people to get involved in the shaping of their community and then enjoying that community that they create. There are a lot of different city community projects. And it's important, again, for the community to step up and say, this is what we want to see in our community. And then how do they work with city government and other entities involved? And in this case, it might be some federal agencies, it might be, private developers. But, coming together and shaping that community, because this is where, we live and this is our backyard. So I think it's important to be a part of that. And there are opportunities in the city of Phoenix across the city, but it takes people who are interested and who are motivated to get involved and be a part of that. So wonderful opportunities, and I would encourage people to look in their own backyards and see what's going on, because you have your say. You have your say at the Parks Board meetings, the pre-planning, the village, I forgot the name of the village planning committee. I think you'll have to check me on that, the name actually. But you can get involved in your community in different ways, and maybe not on a project of this size, but in other smaller projects or even larger projects. I just think it's great to see volunteers who are willing to wake up at 5 o'clock on a Sunday morning in the middle of the hot summer, here in Phoenix, and show up at 6 o'clock to start picking that stinknet weed. I think it's a testament to their commitment to making sure that they're good stewards of the land, and they care about their community. And so I just really appreciate all the volunteers who've come together and the people that we've met. So it's important to appreciate and to tell people that how much you appreciate their efforts, because it takes everyone coming together and making a difference.
My vision for this site would be a public place where people can gather. People could be out in nature. They could come to events here. I see a lot of community events. People having picnics. Different art here, and also like a lot of educational information here too. So when people leave here, I want them to feel like they know more about Phoenix than they did before. Really a community-led place. I envision people to be able to sit by the water, for the water to be clean, to have being able to come out here and see a lot of the animals, bird watching. But yeah, I think really feeling like you're here in nature. And we don't have that much green vegetation like we do here. So I think that's something we definitely need to highlight and take care of. So for the site, I think getting more people involved, people from the community, local indigenous communities, I think is crucial. But when whatever gets developed here, it should come from the community, and it should have plenty of input. That way, when it gets built, everyone is happy and on board with what's happening. For the group, I feel like this is just a first project. I can see the group later down the road taking on other projects, doing some more educational things, and hopefully we can be part of this project and be more like stewards and or ambassadors for the rest of the community. But I don't think that this group is going to stop with just this project. I think there's a lot more things coming after that. It's been really nice to be part of the group and seeing it grow, and people that join because they hear positive things from people that are already involved. Nobody's here because they're forced to. People are taking their time in early mornings to come out here. So yeah, it's been really beautiful to see that and seeing new friendships and relationships develop.
What I'd like to see happen is, what started is this project for me was I just loved the Arizona desert, and I didn't want to see this invasive weed taking over. I've hiked for decades, and being outdoors is a great time for family and friends. So for this compound, I'd really like to see that people come out as family and friends, and come out biking and hiking and seeing what's down here. It's kind of a diamond in the rough. So I'd really like some of the events I've heard they want to do, like Adobe brick making workshops. I think that's so creative, and even get the community involved with creating maybe benches from those bricks. That's and I know Sam, one of our group members, he mentioned desert art, desert jewelry. Some of his artistic designs along some of these cement areas, and so I just want to see a welcoming environment and a safe, welcoming environment. You're comfortable when you feel safe. So definitely have it safe out here and clean it up. Definitely clean it up. The group is great. I mean, we started out as very small. I mean, we're still small, but meeting people that have your same passions. We've all grown up differently. We have different dreams of this area, but it's all the same. We want to keep our environment, our the landscape, and have the history brought back up. I mean, this whole area is kind of a diamond in the rough. I mean, it's starting, and with the light rail coming, it's just gonna we want to showcase it. It's so much to offer and so much to learn, because I've learned a lot just from the people that have started it and as a group, and meeting new people and eating afterwards. I mean, just nice just to celebrate a little bit our accomplishments.
So I grew up in Phoenix, and I'm familiar with the amount of growth that we have with the city and surrounding areas. And for Phoenix, I know that there's a lot of parks and things like that, but a lot of places to gather around this South Phoenix area is pretty sparse. So it'd be good to have something positive in this particular area. I was gonna say, also the light rail's going up right here, so I know a lot of businesses have been affected. So it would just kind of revitalize this South Phoenix area. I don't think a lot of people are really familiar with the history also of the city. So with the Rio Salado, it's kind of a something that, a place where we could educate the community. I've only been coming out here for a couple months, but I heard about it through another member who's been coming here earlier in the year. So I have a relative that's been coming out, and she says some positive things about what the group is doing. And then once I came for the first time, even in that initial time, that's when I learned that it's about more than just, pulling weeds and learning about invasive species. There's a lot of things that I can still learn. So it's just kind of a learning experience for me. Well, I know this space is pretty much unused right now. I know that there's construction going to be going on in this area right here behind me. But if the city will help and get behind creating this, like making use of this space right here for more community purposes, I want the city to be open-minded. And what we envision, it's along the bike path. It's right across the bridge from the Audubon Center. So it'd be a great place if we could get some help with, creating like an art station, holding a container for supplies, benches, and creating like a water station maybe for the bikes, the people on the bikes. Things like that would be really helpful.
So I've been involved with this project since the beginning, and would come here and pick weeds, and it's been really cool to see how it's grown from maybe 4 or 5 people to up to 20, 25 people circulating in and out. And so it's been exciting to see something grow from start to finish, or not finish, but from the beginning to now. And really seeing how a good team is being assembled to really push this project forward, and engage with the city of Phoenix in many different ways. Yeah, I think just having a place where people can gather and just enjoy the what South Phoenix has to offer.
Yeah, so I've been involved here at the Rio for a while now, working with multiple projects, working with different groups, and still being just still advocating and still just being committed to the Rio. Just have a personal connection to it, I think spiritually, and then just the history that the Rio has here, specifically here in South Phoenix, the good and the bad. And so I just, been a strong advocate for arts and culture and design here. I think when we talk about arts and culture, that's very non-bureaucratic, and it's a very great way to bring people together to talk about social issues, or just to heal, or just to express and celebrate. And been working with the group here at the Rio now for I think it's been three months now. I know they've been working, I think, for about 5 or 6 months, but just connecting with everybody from different different places, multicultural, and just connecting to the land. I think that's really been what's been important, is we come together, we do the invasive plant pulling, and we get to know each other. Then we get to have breakfast together, and we really become a community, like a family, and we get to know each other's why we're all here, and how we connect. And the Rio kind of seems to be that stream, that energy that brings us all together here and doing this work, and just envisioning what is it that we see, what is it that we want for us, for the future generation. And we always have to consider ourselves and remind ourselves that we're the future ancestors, and we have to act accordingly. And sometimes when you start thinking like that more, you really start being more conscious and more committed, but also very just more passionate about what we do, and what the work that you're doing and where your time is being put at is super important, because we don't get that time back. So I think with all the work that needs to be done here with the Rio, amongst with what's happening around us with development, and then also just trying to heal from the years and decades of segregation of this community of South Phoenix, and not being really part of Phoenix, but just being the backyard. And so I think all this work is really, it's about having bringing back dignity to our community, and the community surrounding us, and bringing healing, and also acknowledging the land acknowledgement here, and the original people here. And they were the original caretakers and still are, but it's been disrupted. And I think it's very important that, you know, different groups from different backgrounds, different faiths, you know, are coming together here and really acknowledging, you know, the original intent here, and just how this land was very well taken care of with the canal system that was here. You know, very high-tech canal system here, that we wouldn't have a city of Phoenix if it wasn't for the Hohokam canal system, the engineering system that was basically, you know, was given, you know, because none of this land is really ours. We're just caretakers. So I'm really looking forward to the future of this site, of the Rio, and also more importantly is leaving the future, like leaving the toolkit and the blueprint for others to be able to leave off with, and to be able to mold and to create their narrative and to add their narrative to this, you know, this ongoing book of the Rio Salado and the, you know, from past, present, and to the future. I would like to see arts and culture and design thrive here. I see like a cultural, like a heritage center, as well as like an arts and design studio practice. I wouldn't want to say school, but more like a studio practice that's non-bureaucratic. It just kind of allows us to work with actual schools and up-and-coming designers. And I think just more than anything is just to create a space here for celebration of our cultural identity, and allowing arts and culture and design to be a conduit and a good steward to the Rio, and for that to be, you know, to provide tools and how people can get involved. You know, some people want to work the land physically, some people want to share their stories, some want to do more of the science and more of the geological ecosystem work, some just want to protect. So I think there's room for everyone from every different background, from every different level to participate here. But more than anything is just to see a collaboration of different people, multi-generational, working together just to become good stewards of this land. I think it's just getting, you know, good support from the powers to be, you know, from the city, from academia, and you know, and to really get support for these groups, because there's a lot of groups that are forming, and there's a lot of groups that have come and go, and a lot of times, you know, a lot of the work that's being done, it's being done, you know, it's a sweat equity. It's there. People are giving their own time. It's voluntary work, but we all know that this work is hard, and it takes, you know, you got to put in hours into this, and you take time away from your family and your loved ones, and from the things that you know, that your career that you want to do outside of this. And a lot of the times we find ourselves like this does become our career, and then we have to find ourselves, how do we support ourselves doing this in a very peaceful manner? And so I would really like to see like support for our group, be able to create long-term sustainability for our group, and for this also to become healing for our group, that it doesn't become a burden, or it doesn't become something that, you know, that we're stressing, doesn't get bureaucratic. You know, at the end of the day, we have the land, we have ourselves, we have our community, and we have, you know, we have like the love that we have for each other for this work. So, you know, there's always that grounding and making sure that our group stays grounded when things get rocky, and, you know, when we don't have those resources there, that we have to figure out how to keep going and making sure that we uplift ourselves and the land here. So just, you know, overall, just our group to stay grounded, stay uplifted, and be supported.